Everybody, welcome to Snow Talk or Storm Talk. It's a bad habit. Storm Talk. I'm meteorologist Brian Good here on this Friday afternoon. Finally Friday. Yay, thank goodness. It seems like it's been a long week this week. We got still a couple of items really to talk about when it comes to thunderstorm potential, and then we'll evaluate anything that looks any more than that as far as stronger storms potentially. It's a possibility. But this weekend, got a few isolated strong storms. Can't rule it out. From the looks of things so far, I would say hail would be the bigger risk out of any of those that do develop. And then we got a system around the 19th, next weekend, about a week from today or so, that could become a system that could bring some colder air back in. But we'll get to that in a second. First off today, the clouds are trying their best to thin out. As always the case, it takes a while, but the problem is they are thinning out to the north, but it's there's another feature that's having an influence here, and I'll show you that in a second. First off, the numbers. Because of the thinning out, temperatures warmer actually in places to the north, 59 in Carrollton, a little bit of warming too to the south, near 60. I think we'll cross into the 60s later today. But here's the other factor being involved here in our cloud cover today. We're trying to dry out and thin out over a good chunk of wave country, but notice there's more clouds streaming in because we're not done yet with our system. Look how far it is, way down here on the border of Texas and Mexico, even slightly retrograding, in fact. A very unusual position for a low pressure like this, but it's got a spiral band, if you will, of moisture that is working its way in here by tomorrow morning, and then we may see some thunderstorms on the eastern side of that that are just now generating over the Gulf that'll move in as we do Saturday night into Sunday. So it's a two-pronged deal. That what we're betting on, though, is this gap between the two that should be here during the daylight hours on Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, and hopefully we'll get a lot of the activities in, including the St. Patrick's Day Parade. We will monitor it carefully. Here's the latest in our futurecast. Here are the wind arrows and the temperatures. Again, showing us potentially getting the 60s later today. And then tonight, no problems. Get plenty this evening. You'll be fine. No rain to worry about this evening. But then that changes. Tomorrow morning, I know we have the Road City 10K. The first spiral band begins to influence the area with some showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, temperatures in the 50s. And then we get into the afternoon hours. And this is where it's going to be more complicated because we're going to be in that break between the first spiral band and the main core of the low. During that break, we are going to likely see some sunshine. We will have moisture around, so it's going to become unstable. So just like in the summertime, we're going to get these little pop-up showers and thunderstorms. And look at the difference that it can have on the temperature. I mean, Carrollton could be 61, Lebanon could be 72, and Campbellsville could be 74, E-Town could be 71. So the temperature forecast on Saturday is a challenging one, and yes, once again, it has bust potential, because if we break out in more sun than anything, we will easily climb between 75 and 80 degrees during the afternoon Saturday. But if these little pop-up thunderstorms develop and they impact your backyard, you will drop into the 60s and likely stay there. So you've got some 50s to the north. So it's really going to be a challenging forecast, pinpointing where these little bad boys will pop in the afternoon. All I can tell you is that the atmosphere is supportive enough for these thunderstorms to pop. And yeah, some of these could contain some hail, so that's why we're going to watch it carefully on Saturday. But hopefully, for those of you heading to the Highlands, that one of the little breaks in between all of this will be perfectly placed over the Louisville Metro. We may get lucky. You never know. But keep that in mind if you're heading down there. Prepare for a place to go. If you get a downpour that hits you, look around and figure out whether it's going to be running to O'Shea's or to Molly Malone's, wherever you got to go to run into for a while to seek shelter. Just have a safe spot in place. Now, as we get into the nighttime hours, again, we got another band of showers, thunderstorms that roll in. It's going to be warm throughout the evening. We'll continue to see another band of showers and thunderstorms Saturday morning. Rumbles of thunder around. Temperatures, again, mainly in the 60s. Then as we get to Sunday afternoon, we will then find ourselves in another break that it could allow temperatures in the 70s. And again, I say could. Sunshine is the key factor. If we don't get the sun, we're not going to get there. But the potential is there for us to once again climb into the 70s on Sunday. Same issue, too, on Sunday, by the way. Hail is possible with some of those thunderstorms that can pop Sunday afternoon. Here's the high-res NAM model for Saturday afternoon. You see it's picking up these little small supercell-like structures that pop in the afternoon. The core of the low is back here. But you can see these little pop-ups around the area. So that's what's going to be challenging to really explain where they will hit and what time. So be patient, and we'll try to keep you updated on the way through these weather app as we get more data. There's the Schreff model showing the potential temperatures over the next few days. A black line here is the average of all of the possibilities, and these are the possibilities on either side of it. Notice that as we head into Saturday, there's one that takes us very close to 80 degrees for high, and there's also one that says only right around 60, and that would be because of the idea that these thunderstorms could knock us down or be, I mean, it's about a 20-degree spread on Saturday. Almost similar on Sunday. If you get a downpour or thunderstorm, you could see a potential 15 to 20 degree spread in the high temperatures on Sunday. And then as we get into next week, there's another chance for us to get really warm again. So rain and clouds and the sun, all factors here in temperatures. This is nothing new. You guys know this already. I'm just kind of explaining it. And this is on us as far as a challenge and trying to put together a 7-day. We've got to pick a number out, and we've got to pick out timing for rain. But I wanted to show you guys the challenges that we have in trying to nail that down. So hopefully this will help clear things up. Okay, now look at the overall setup here. This is Monday morning. We've already had the thunderstorms from the Saturday, Sunday low pressure move by, but we also have a new low that's riding behind it that's going to sneak into the Ohio Valley from the southwest. This new low may very well sneak in here as we get into Monday with another round of showers and a few thunderstorms. So Monday is looking wet. I do think because of the angle of this system, we will likely stay in the 60s with that time around. And that rain, by the way, on the backside of that low may continue all the way into Monday evening. So Monday is not looking great at this point, the way things are trending. Tuesday, interesting day here. Another low is going to move through the Midwest into the Great Lakes. Now, it is going to try to pump in as much south moisture as it can and warmth. Now, it's going to have a struggle because we just got through with the system on Monday. So it's going to have its limits on how much it can really pull into the system. The potential is there. We've had some forecasts around 80 degrees potentially on Tuesday. It's a possibility. My fear in that is I don't know how long we're going to have of a south flow to get that warm, and the extent of the cirrus clouds that will likely blow off of the system that may overtake us on Tuesday. So don't know yet if we're going to keep the 80 intact for Tuesday. We'll decide that once we get more data this afternoon. Either way, it does look warm, and it does look dry on Tuesday. But Tuesday night, into the overnight, thunderstorms roll through. Some gusty ones are possible, but nothing severe really expected. And then as we head toward Friday and Saturday, another system moves in, and this is the one that could pump in some more showers and thunderstorms as we head into Friday night into Saturday morning. And then that leads to the problems for next weekend. Here's the problem here's the reason why we're having so many problems. Look at the configuration. This is the northern hemisphere. Here's the North Pole. This is the Euro, by the way. The jet stream digs down into California, it goes up into the Great Lakes, and then dives down again into portions, actually moves more like this up the Carolina coast. But this low over Mexico and Texas is relatively cut off, and it's causing a blocking of the jet stream, so we're getting some unique weather as of late, a very humid pattern. Now, as we head into the middle portion next week, the jet becomes more flat, so more progressive. That's why we're going to have more systems tracking through the Midwest and the Great Lakes this time around instead of digging all the way into Texas. It's going to be a faster flow, quick hitting systems. They move in, move out, move in, move out, and there could be 2 or 3 the way it's looking now. But at the same time, we are paying attention to the other parts of the world. Here's your polar vortex here in the pink. Notice, though, this anomalous low that has taken place here across portions south of Greenland, and that is causing a blocking to set up in the Atlantic. That is likely going to cause the jet to buckle again as we get into next weekend, and we're starting to see signs of that, and that may start to send some of the chunk of that cold air, technically a chunk of the polar vortex, but I don't want to say that because it's not coming. The polar vortex is not coming. But a chunk of that cold air is going to get dislodged and slide down into the lower 48 by the time we get into next weekend, and really has a grip on us as we get a little bit of blocking developing here across Canada. We got blocking here over the Greenland area, and then here's the problem. You get cold air that wants to dig all the way into the eastern United States. Now, it's nothing extreme, but it is going to be a reality check. Here's the Euro for next Sunday, which, by the way, is the first day of spring. Yes, we do set our clocks ahead 1 hour this weekend. But notice, overall, it's a dry but chilly outlook for Sunday. Looking at the potential for maybe a snowflake or 2, it's possible. This is the humidity level at 700 millibars, and you can see it's very dry over Kentucky, but there is a band of moisture that is going to move in across Indiana and Ohio and pass, swinging on by Sunday night of next weekend. That may squeeze out a few snow flurries next Sunday night. Not a snowstorm, maybe a few snow flurries, but more importantly, perhaps a frost and freeze setup could take shape. We've had some growing going on lately with the warm weather. Some plants have been growing, so we'll keep you updated on that as we get closer. Looking longer range, do want to mention here on the Euro, it shows that cold snap that will likely impact us for the upcoming weekend, next weekend. on the 19th and 20th. But look what happens. We warm back up again right after that. But as we get into April, another shot of cold air is beginning to show up. In other words, this up and down pattern is likely to continue, and I still see signs of colder air shots coming in even through April, which we've seen the past several years. And hopefully it will not happen near Thunder or Louisville, but it seems to always happen. But we'll keep an eye on the longer term as we get more data. It's hard to look at the longer term when the pattern is so active this time of year. You really have to just focus on. I did this blog for 14 days out into the future, but it's more of a challenge this time of year. I try to limit myself to 7, but even the next 7 is busy. Stay tuned. We'll keep you updated.